Bachelor of Business. Learn more right after this.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doc.
how you doing?
All right, brother. Yourself?
Good. Georgia Highlands has some bachelor degrees now.
I know.
I mean, we've had a couple in the health area, nursing and dental hygiene, but now we've got two different bachelor's degrees in business administration.
I was not aware they had one in dental hygiene.
Yes.
So I knew they had one in nursing. So actually it's four
There are four
bachelor.
now.
So I guess the question is, how long do y'all stay at Access School?
Well, we are a state college now because we have some bachelor's programs, but we're also, mainly Access. But I think we will hold on to both of those identities.
But that's great because now more students can stay here
Yes,
and actually complete their bachelor's degree
absolutely.
versus having to go somewhere else or transfer somewhere else.
Yes.
So I mean, that'd be awesome.
And we're going to talk about these degrees today, but they are both fairly unique bachelor's degrees. They aren't just general business.
Okay.
They're very specific areas, and I think the students who get into these degree programs will find themselves highly employable. They're both high demand areas,
Okay.
and there aren't any colleges in the area that are doing this, which is why they allowed us to do it.
I have to give the GHC. It's always something new and different for a 2-year school, and for what it costs. I don't know if you can get is there a better option in the state, to be honest. Now, of course, I'm biased.
Well,
I'm
you
alum,
should make
but
it a statement, not a question. It's not, is there a better? There is no better.
no better school in the state.
No. We're going to be talking about our two new business administration bachelor degrees at Georgia Highlands. We'll be talking about those two degrees today on the show, and we'll be joined in a moment by the program director for these two degrees. So please stay with us. A lot of great information. If you are not interested in one of these degree programs yourself, I bet you know someone who might be. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
My college offers classes that meet my educational and career goals.
with opportunities outside the classroom.
where the faculty know me by name.
My college can prepare me for my career.
I can earn an associate's degree and transfer credits toward my bachelor's.
My college is a state college within the university system of Georgia.
My college is affordable.
It's close to home.
My college has online opportunities.
It's where excellence begins.
We are
GHC, Georgia Highlands College.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We are thrilled to have with us today Nicole Cooley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you are the BBA Program Director, Program Coordinator.
Program Coordinator.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Greg.
And you are relatively new to the college.
Yes, you're right. I'm actually new as of December 5th, my first day at Georgia Highlands. Prior to that, I did work in higher education for about 5 years, so I'm not new to higher education, just Highlands as a whole. Yeah. But I am alumni, so I really don't consider myself that new.
Oh, you're an alum?
I am.
Oh, well, you didn't say that earlier.
Yes. So it's more like coming back home. you know. So.
Well, we're all so very excited about these two degree programs, and I'm thrilled that you are here to coordinate them and get us a good start with them. But I just have a feeling what I know about the two degrees is that they're going to be tremendously popular.
I believe so. They already are sparking a lot of attention in the community. We're getting a lot of great feedback, not only from students, but from parents, industries within those fields, and we'll get into more about the fields that each bachelor degree is in, but the support that we've received from just everyone is just phenomenal. It's amazing. We're just grateful.
You know, thinking about a bachelor's degree in business, I remember years and years ago, it was almost as if that industry it became flooded. It was like, you know, it was so common for people to have a BA in business. So I guess over time, I guess the pendulum has swung, and that this is just not business degrees, though. Even though that's great to have a general business degree, these are, from what I understand, more specific.
Right, they are.
With our area in mind, too.
You know, one of the bachelor degrees, it's a Bachelor of Business Administration. It is in healthcare management. And from what we've learned through stats is that, you know, the healthcare industry, it is one of the most rapidly growing industries. It's expected to grow about 17% over the next few years. And then our second bachelor degree, it's also a 4-year Bachelor of Business Administration, but it has a concentration in logistics and supply chain management. I was doing some research not too long ago, and I came across an article that said about 75% of U.S. freight is moved through the trucking industry. And they said those numbers are even expected to increase over time. And logistics, it's not just trucking, you know, of course, it's many sectors to both of these degrees in the field of choice. And so we're happy about it. We're definitely excited. We rank in the top 4 of Governor Deal's high demand careers on his initiative that he has going. So we definitely feel like we hit the mark with these two.
Well, let's talk about them individually.
Okay.
I know the degree in healthcare management certainly speaks to, I'm thinking it's the primary industry in this area is healthcare.
Yes, it'd be hard pressed to find something else.
We have multiple, we have clinics and of course hospitals. And
I think like Harbin is like one of the largest in this area for as like with patients or with doctors. I think it's like one of the largest in the state for as the number of physicians that it actually has. Then you have Redmond in Florida, and you have all these other secondary medical fields and medical industries surrounding the hospitals. So it is huge. It
is very huge. We actually did numbers, and we found that we have about 10 hospitals within our servicing area, and then we have over 623 medical offices and facilities. That does include long-term care facilities. So, and that again is within the 10 counties that we service. So.
Say those numbers again.
Over 10 hospitals and over 623 medical facilities, including the long-term care facilities.
So when you talk about actual employment, and with our population age, for as baby boomers and things of that nature, and even just people living longer, that's not a demand you foresee, you know, diminishing anytime soon. For as in the medical field.
Not at all. It's definitely going to continue to grow. And that's why I'm so grateful that we have these programs, because it positions us as Georgia Highlands as a destination for the healthcare education. And also it puts us in a good position with our industries to be able to provide a well-trained talent pipeline for those companies, because they will need it.
But I'm curious though, what is a Bachelor of Healthcare Management? What does jobs look like in that industry?
Well, the Bachelor of Business Administration and Healthcare Management, it's still a 4-year bachelor degree, but what it does is it allows you to go into positions such as hospital administration, nursing home administration. You can go into the pharmaceutical area. You can go into the dental area. What this basically says is that you have the knowledge and skill you need to perform administrative duties within the healthcare facility that you choose. It doesn't necessarily have to be limited to a doctor's office or a hospital. Anything relating to healthcare. If you have this degree, you can pretty much pursue an occupation or a career in that field.
Now, and I know you got a lot of questions, but I do have a little experience in some of medical. My wife actually is a nurse and she's a director, and so I've over the years have learned that, you know, the business, when we think of hospitals, we think of the doctors, the nurses, but the business side of it is huge because, you know, we go in, we need this service, we need that, but we're not thinking about the business aspect of it. And I've learned through her job that is huge. It's a lot that goes into that, just the scheduling and the different, I mean, it's a lot. And so I can see how that will be in demand, because I think most people, when they think about healthcare, we think about the nursing aspect or the or physicians. We don't actually think about the business itself, so those people can do that.
And though they do play an important part, the nurses and the physicians, but what a lot of people don't understand is that the healthcare administrators, which are also called healthcare managers, they are kind of like the heart of the healthcare industry. So like you said, they do all the planning, they do all the scheduling, they do budgeting, and so they take all of this off of the nurses or the doctors so that they can go and concentrate solely on their specialty or expertise, area of expertise. So yeah, they have a pretty important role, you know.
But it also suggests just how marketable this degree is going to be, because there's so many different options and directions.
Yeah, I like to tell my students when they come in and they're not sure what they will want to do in healthcare management, and what I do is I say, you know, I give them a sheet and I say, this field does not limit you to one area. There are so many sectors within the healthcare industry. You just have to choose which sector you want to go into. And then if you get burned out in that sector, the good thing is that you can always still use your degree to move into another sector. Like I said, you have dentists, you have pharmaceutical, you have long-term care, you have hospital, you have the nursing homes. You pretty much, you know, can go into many fields.
So this degree program would require a student, because you do have to apply and be accepted into it.
Yes, this is actually not like the other associate degree programs where you actually come in, get admitted, and start taking classes. This degree will build on our Associate of Science in Business Administration that's already in place. So how it works is students will come in as a freshman and they'll take their lower division courses. So that means your freshman and sophomore year courses you'll take first. After you have about 50 credit hours of those completed, you will do a separate application to the bachelor degree program. It's a competitive program, so we do have a GPA requirement. You are required to have a 2.5 or better overall GPA. And in certain classes, we would like for you to have an average of 2.8 or better, along with some other qualifications or requirements. And once you are accepted, then you begin taking your junior level and your senior level classes.
Now, these programs, I'm assuming, will be most of the classes be taken at one particular campus, or will it be offered at all the campuses?
Well, the good thing about the program is while you're working on your lower division courses, your freshman and sophomore level classes, you can pretty much take those at any of our 5 locations. And they are offered in classroom, lecture style, online, or hybrid. Now, when you move into the bachelor level classes, which is your junior and senior year, those classes for now are only offered in traditional classroom lecture style. We do plan on opening up online and hybrid versions of the classes, but first we would like our faculty to come in and become certified to teach those online classes.
All right, we have a lot more to talk about. We're coming up on a break. Stay with us. Much more to come. Don't go away.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're talking with Nicole Cooley, who is the program coordinator for the BBA, the Bachelor Business Administration program at Georgia Highlands. We have 2 new bachelor's degrees,
Yes.
which we're very excited about. So we've been talking about the Bachelor's in Business Administration for Healthcare Management. Students who are interested in applying for this program, they need to have the associate completed or close to it before they apply. Now for students who, is it possible for students who have taken courses elsewhere, as long as they have the right courses?
Yes. And we have about 2% of our applicants have taken courses elsewhere. So what we advise them to do is go ahead and apply to Georgia Highlands, because you have to have a current status. So you have to be fully admitted to Georgia Highlands first before you apply to the bachelor degree program. Once they admit, they will be required to turn in official transcripts from the colleges that they attended, and then we will send those to our registrar's office, and they will evaluate those transcripts to see what classes they took at the other colleges that we can pull in and use towards their bachelor degree. A lot of times we find that the students do end up having lower division classes that they still have to take, which is no problem. We advise them to get enrolled in those classes, take those first, and then after that they're able to apply to the bachelor degree program.
But it sounds like the best entry is to be a student at Georgia Highlands and major, I guess, in business administration at the associate's level, Bachelor of Science.
That is the best way. That is the best way, because doing that, you basically have a pathway that we put you on that you follow, and it kind of directs you right into the courses needed, all of the prereqs that you're required to have, so that you're ready and positioned to start your bachelor level classes on time.
So theoretically, if we have some students who have their bachelors of science, associates of science recently, let's say in the last year or so, from Highlands, and it's associate of science, will they still be required to take some additional courses?
Well, is it an Associate of Science in Business Administration, or just maybe in history? So yes, and for example, we have had that happen too, where we'll have a student who may do general studies, and so they don't really get the Area F classes that they are required to take under the business administration pathway. So they'll have all of their general core minus their general classes minus their Area F core. So pretty much when you have a situation like that, the only thing that they do lack are about 6 classes under that Area F.
So a student that has gotten an associate's in business, assuming the GPA is good, can move right into this.
Pretty much.
They can apply.
They can apply. Thank you, Greg. They can apply. And this is what happens when you're coming in and you're being advised. It depends on where you're going, because a lot of students come to two-year colleges with the idea of, you know, I'm just using this to do my core and I'm going to transfer out. So under that Area F pathway, if you're going to KSU, there's a specific business class KSU wants. If you're going to Clayton, let's say, or any other college, there may be a specific class that they want. If you're going to stay and do our bachelor degree program, we require other classes under that program. So let me give you an example. The BUSA 2105, that's what KSU requires, but we don't. If you take that, we will still require you to go back and take the 2106 because that's what we need. So a lot of times it's important for students to be correctly advised early on. It's important for us as advisors or even administrators to find out what are their goals. You know, where do you want to go from here? Do you want to remain at Georgia Highlands? Do you want to transfer out? And then that way we can direct them to the classes that they need. That way when they reach the bachelor degree for Georgia Highlands, they're not told, well, no, you do have an associate degree, but you now have to go back and take another lower division class that you're lacking. We want to make sure that they have everything that they need taken and completed.
So it sounds like if a student or former student is not entirely sure, they just need to talk to you.
They just need to talk. They can talk to me definitely, or you know, if they are not even sure about the Bachelor of Business Administration degree at Georgia Highlands, they can talk to any of our general advisors.
Well, we need to talk also about the second bachelor's program,
logistics and
because this was
supply chain
one.
management.
Yes. Yeah. I knew when I first heard about it, I didn't know what that meant. So there may be a couple of folks that don't know what that means.
Okay.
What does it mean?
Well, you know, I try to break it down in an easy term, easy definition to where you can understand. So let's take logistics. And if you really think about it, we all have logistics in every area of our life. Whatever we do for occupation, we have the logistics piece or component. So think about being a baker. So if you're going to bake cakes and your goal is to bake quality cakes, you know, the logistics of it all is basically doing the planning, the organizing, the coordinating, the execution of everything that's required, every operation that's required to get that cake to its finished product and in the consumer's hand. And so you will take your raw materials, you know, and that's where you get into the supply chain. So you have the logistics and the supply chain. The logistics is basically the coordination of all of the events or operations you're going to do on a day-to-day basis to basically accomplish your goal. Supply chain is basically the network of organizations. They're all independent organizations, but they're interconnected. A lot of interconnected moving parts. So let's go back to the cake. So now with the supply chain, you have your raw materials. So you'll have your vendors that supply you with the raw materials, the milks, the egg. And the logistics part of that is pricing. You want to find the supplier that offers the best price, and so on. And then you have your production companies who actually, which you are the production company, you're the baker who will produce the cake, make the cake. Then you have the warehouses, which actually store your supplies until they're actually taken out. And in your case, your refrigerator of the bakery would be your warehouse. And then you move forward, you have your distribution. How are you going to get that product to the customer? How are you going to get the cake? You know, they can come into your retailer, or you have your distribution centers that move the product along to the retailers to easily get it into the consumer hands. So when I like to think of logistics, for our program's sake, we like to think of it in terms of manufacturing. You know, these companies coordinate the logistics of it all, from purchasing, procurement, acquiring the right material, to producing the product, to warehousing the product, to distribution, transporting, and to getting it into that consumer hand.
So someone who gets this particular bachelor's degree would be able to help any business really with those aspects, and from raw materials to distribution?
Well, we are focusing on manufacturing companies as far as for our program. Our students will be required to do an internship, and the companies that we're actually partnering with and targeting, they are manufacturing companies. I just know that when students hear the word logistics, you know, they become terrified of it. I'm not really sure what it is. So I use the cake, the baker, as a way to break down the simplicity of logistics. It's just basically your organizing of your events
but
to
really it's
accomplish
very,
a goal.
when you think about the manufacturing in this Northwest Georgia area, from Pirelli to Shaw to
Toyo.
Southeastern Mills to Toyo, I mean,
Vostapina.
even I mean, we have a lot of manufacturing companies, and a lot of times I think we think of actually working on the floor or being, you know, working in the warehouse, working. Well, somebody who's in the business office and who's, you know, coming in at a higher level, because we have students that we work with that work at some of these places, but they're actually, you know, they're working, but now with a bachelor's, the opportunity to work at a higher level at these same companies. And I think that's really what's great about it, because we have that demand right here. So we're talking about being able to make high, you know, a quality way of life, and you know, and great income locally.
Definitely. You definitely get an opportunity to increase your earning potential by having that degree. And when you think of logistics and supply chain management or the manufacturing companies, you know, it's not necessarily being on the floor. You know, of course there are management positions that will require that, but I try to let my students know that you can pretty much be in finance. They need finance, you know, finance managers in logistics. You can be in customer relations, you know, customer service. It's not just about being in the warehouse.
White shirt jobs.
Right, right. It's more than that, you know, and that's what this type of degree will allow you to do.
Now, students who want to get in on the first, this will be the first year, I guess. The first class begins this fall. The deadline to apply has not passed. They still have an opportunity.
They do.
With both of these programs.
Right. Our deadline to apply is not until June 15th. We actually extended that deadline. We do have a lot of applications coming in. We still have room for more. So anyone that you know who's interested, or you know, if you have parents, students, or even companies that are interested in sending their employees for this degree, you know, let them know that we definitely still have room for more.
Well, we're coming up on another break. When we come back, we will give you contact information so that you can get more info about these programs and find out how to apply. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Packers.
Viking.
Packers.
Viking.
Viking.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been talking with Nicole Cooley, who is the program coordinator for our Georgia Highlands 2 new Bachelor Administration degree programs. Contact information.
If you are interested in applying for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree, or if you're interested in receiving just general information, you can either contact me, Nicole Cooley. I am at MCOOLEY at highlands.edu. Again, that's mcooley at highlands.edu. We do encourage you guys to go out to our website, where we do have information on the program itself, both programs, admission requirements. You can actually review course curriculum, and the website will be bba.highlands.edu.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for
We'll
having
hear much more about this soon. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time on Community Watch.